Hope that sounds good. Happy Thursday, happy Friday Eve. We have some topics today. Hope you enjoyed your week so far. I hope the week has been well. As you can see, we're still here, live streaming. As I gotta say in the beginning, I know y'all don't care. Only thing I'm really irritated about during this live stream is the audio. I know the audio does not sound as clean as it used to because of we're not in our home court home court studio, not in our studio. So we have to really make sure we're talking at the right levels because we don't want the audio to sound real bad. So I'm just gonna check the audio, make sure y'all can hear me. And so that sounds pretty good, which is good. So let me get the disclaimer. It's not plugged up again. Why is it not plugged up? I'll tell you. Let's see. So let me see. Disclaimer, the videos presented here are for informational purposes only. And therefore, if you are to choose to attend the institution, please do your own research and consult with a specialist at the institution you are interested in. I am not a financial aid specialist, academic advisor, or representing any institution. Speaking on behalf of creator, Henry is only speaking from his experience. With that being said, let's talk. So the first topic, I got to shield updates. I was about to jump right into it. I was ready. I almost jumped right into it. So let me go to this right quick. Okay. All right. So shield updates. We always got to do the updates, the policy, because why? Policy often leads to how your money is moving. When a policy when a state law, federal law changes and it's higher ed related, it could affect how your money or how much money you're going to pay for college. So this is why we always do this in the beginning. So SHIO, this is today's obviously. So national policy report, workforce Pell Grants, congregational, I say right, congregational research service. They're saying they have a report for workforce Pell Grants. Report persistence and retention. That's by the National Student Clearinghouse Research Center. We're actually going to talk about that a little bit because that actually highlights how students have been retaining in school and staying in school is what they said, retaining and being persistent in school. So they break that down a little bit. We're going to speak on that because, the myth is that, so the normal myth has been that people are not staying in college or people not like being persistent in college. If you hear today, like, oh, nobody's going to college no more because you don't make money, but a lot of students are staying in college now, and it's proven stats about that. So that gives us momentum on reason why momentum, what they say, optimism. Okay, I'm using like these financial words a little bit in higher ed, so that'd be throwing me off. But optimistic, faith, hope, momentum, all these things into why like you need to learn how to save money for college because a lot of people are staying in college, and we already know people are going to college. But if you look at the traditional like settings or talk to certain people, you don't realize that, or you would realize when you talk to the traditional people who don't believe college is worth it, you will only believe that I was fixing something. You will only believe that what nobody's going to college. College is for, you know, the decay, as he said in the Drake song. It's for the decay. Whoo! Can't catch my drift. So workforce Pell Grants again, that is by the NCSL. I believe that's the platform. I forgot who NCSL is, but I believe it's an hour long discussion. No, 24-minute discussion. I'm confusing it. It's a 24-minute discussion about the workforce Pell Grant. I am planning to do a reaction to that. It's 24 minutes strong. So you have to bear with me in that. That's going to be pretty, hopefully, interesting. Private colleges grew revenue last year, but not enough, Fitch says. That's by Higher Ed Drive or Higher Ed Dive. A new site tracks foreign gifts to colleges. Is it misleading? Higher Ed Dive. A new site tracks foreign gifts to colleges. Is it misleading? I think that's interesting. Foreign gifts. Remember, we talked about foreign gifts before, and I was trying to figure out I hope y'all can hear that. It sounds like it's in the name, foreign gifts. So let me see. And then foreign gifts is like getting gifts from other countries outside of like United States or outside of the UK. Like that's a foreign gift. So New Kentucky research complicates the co-requisite course consensus in higher education. That is by Brookings. As Pell turns 54, a new bill outlines a progressive vision for the program's future. State policy. California, effort to add student to UC region stalls in legislature. That's interesting. They're trying to add student to UC regions. That's a little bit interesting. If it sounds like what I think it is, it's like adding a student leader, student president. Sound like something like that, but it's a pro. We don't have that subscription. Florida Board of Governors considers plan to restrict higher education for undocumented students. Spectrum News. Kansas sides with Department of Justice against state tuition equity law. So that's about the same thing that Florida just did. It's about the same thing in Kansas, not offering undocumented students in-state tuition. NC, North Carolina, I think. Yeah, North Carolina, press release. NC Works Commission now accepting application for workforce Pell Grants and workforce Pell programs. North Carolina, access to federal loans could be cut off for many North Carolina education programs. Ohio, different views of how Ohio's anti-DEI law is affecting state universities in its first year. Ohio, Senate bill would let civic centers hire, fire faculty, set curriculum. That's interesting. And then Oklahoma, 16 Oklahoma colleges seek to raise tuition and fees. That is going to be our first topic right there. Because if you rock with us, you know that we got to talk about tuition being raised. Because you could be in an area, my good people, you can be in an area, right? And if you're in this state, your tuition is raising. And you know, the first thing some people say, well, what can I do about my tuition raising? Well, you can definitely start at a 2-year. I'm pretty sure your 2-year is going to offer a very good, more affordable price than the university. And then, or you can, what's the other one? Or you can definitely see what state line you're on and then potentially talk to that school. Are you really on my screen right now? I know you. It's just like, really? I hit it off the screen, though. I'm cold with this. And so, sorry about that, y'all. I don't know if y'all heard that because the computer, this is my microphone right now. So, and then, or you can see what state line are you on. Like, you know, for me, you know, I'm from Columbus, Georgia. And so we fall on that Alabama line. And then also being in Georgia, but it also depends on where your address is. This thing gets a little complicated. That's why it's good to talk to who? The admissions at that institution. Because the admissions at that institution could tell you like, hey, this is the deal we have going on, even though you're in this city and you're not this close to the state line. So always talk to admissions and talk to a good admissions person. I'm telling you, it's people in higher ed who don't know what the heck they're doing. So always talk to the right person about, hey, I'm living in this area, but I'm trying to see about going to your school and seeing if y'all offer some in-state tuition. I don't want a scholarship. I want in-state tuition. Then we could talk about scholarship. That's the way I would go about it, because once you figure you're getting in-state tuition, then you can start thinking about scholarship. It shouldn't be out of order. You shouldn't consider scholarship when you're an out-of-state student or going to be charged out-of-state fees or anything like that. Just no, you need to prioritize in-state tuition. So 16 Oklahoma colleges seek to raise tuition. State regents for higher education decide whether to okay the increases. I don't know if they okay the increases. We're gonna have to do a basic Google search real quick. Excuse me. Let me see right quick. Because I was wondering when I read this a little bit first. Let me see right quick, guys. Let me see right quick. They said they were supposed to. They said they was supposed to let them know today on Thursday at the time, June 25th, 2026. At the time, did they do it? Yes, the Oklahoma State Regions of Higher Education unanimous. Oh, they said they did. Okay. So I have this as well. So we're gonna, okay. Oops, perfect. So we have two things right here. So we have this and this. This is on the actual Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education. This is what I say. Don't be watching people who talk about college and don't take you to the actual like website of things. Like this is like their little news outlet, but this is like the actual Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education. Like this is like coming from the horse's mouth. You know, like this is saving you so much time. Like, hey, I tapped in with you for like 2 minutes speaking on behalf, and now I'm gone. Like this right here is where you need to like see what we're talking about. So 16 Oklahoma universities are planning to raise tuition, right? You know, where are those Oklahoma universities? Well, Oklahoma University is a very popular one. Oklahoma State University, that is a big school. That's like, I believe those are the two biggest universities, but those are the universities they are talking about. And it's like 14 more, right? So they said that including the two largest in the state are seeking to raise their tuition and fees by an average of 2.96%, pretty much 3%. I tell people all the time, 3% might not seem like a lot, but that is a good penny. Now, with nine more colleges intending to hold their tuition and fees flat, Oklahoma's higher education system could seek a 2.2 increase in overall cost to undergraduate students. That would raise the cost of the undergraduate course by $4.92 per credit hour. So the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education will decide Thursday, which is what I was just talking about, if they decided to approve this. So an Oklahoma resident undergraduate would pay $5.40 more per credit hour. So if your per credit hour is 180, for example, then it's going to raise by $5. But why am I doing this when I need to show you the beauty? I need to show you the sauce because there's no reason for me not to be live streaming. I don't show you. So let me see right quick. I'm getting good with this. I'm going to do Oklahoma State University because I like their colors. All right. So this is the school. The great Oklahoma State University, them Cowboys, right? So, you know, I love showing you this because who else is showing you this during a live stream, right? This is why I love doing this. This is why I love showing you. And this is literally what I was doing. Oh, this is literally what I was doing before I started live streaming with you all. You know, just I don't know why, just going to colleges' websites and then go to their tuition and fees. Yes. Are they showing it? All right, perfect. So as you can see right here, they're showing you the undergraduate resident standard rate. Oklahoma State, no, I don't want to. Oklahoma State has very good, that looks like very good rates. What's 189, 10? Let me see. Hold on now. That's a good rate. 189.10 times 12. That's very good. Oklahoma State has very good tuition rates. That's a very good rate, y'all. Like, that's very good. Like, you still like going to Oklahoma State University, you're only going to pay 22.69 and 20 cents. Like, and then if you do that times two for 2 semesters, that's going to be 4,500. That's pretty good for this so-called caliber of school. Oklahoma State founded some things, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So that's pretty good. Yeah, that's what we 28. They got 28. Oh, that's plus fees, plus the mandatory fees. But the mandatory fees seem to be a lot though. The mandatory fees come out to about $2,000. So that's where they get you at. That's something to consider because fees, like you can't dodge the fees. Some of this stuff you can't dodge, but you get health services fee, provides for comprehensive health and pharmacy services. That's pretty good. Okay. Not defending them. I'm just looking at all things. Like, okay, hold on. What's up in the fees? It looked like the most expensive fee so far as is 14 University Technology Infrastructure Maintenance Fee. Sound like a lot of Microsoft and computer stuff. Academic Excellence Fee. Oh, at least they put it in there. That helps with existing faculty salaries up to peer averages. Okay. That's pretty good. I'm glad they put that in there. And so, okay, that's interesting. So going back to the main thing we came. So, so yeah, if you increase what they said, $5.40. So if you increase the rate right here by $5, we're just gonna focus right here, standard rate, undergraduate resident. If you increase that, just add $5.40 to it. That's what your new tuition per credit hour would be. So that's why that is important that they're going to raise the tuition per credit hour. Why? It's not like, oh, well, it's still pretty good prices, Henry. But yeah, it is pretty good prices. It's just that you probably can get a better deal at your 2 year. That's the big gist of it all. Because 189 and 10 cent plus 540, 189 plus 540. That's 100. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me make it bigger right quick. I know it's blurry. I'm so sorry, y'all. But that's 194 and 50 cent. And so being 194 and 50 cent, so now you got to do times 12 because you're going to be a full-time student probably. Now you're looking at 2,300, but we go back up. They said right here that it's already what 2836 plus mandatory fees. So it's going to be in the 3,000 range once they up this because they did approve it. So despite the increases, OU's enrollment continues to grow, approaching 40,000 students. Who is this? State governor? University of Oklahoma. Oh, this is the University of Oklahoma president. And so Harrell's, I'm gonna say just Joseph, President Joseph. So they're approaching 40,000 students. That's a lot of students. Guys, if you do that tuition, do this tuition. If you do 4,000, just do pretty much 5,000 at this point. If you do 5,000 times 40,000 students, that's how much the school is making in tuition, which is income and revenue. So just for fun, I really do want to know this. $5,000 times 40, what's that? 40,000 students. That's 200. That's a lot of zeros. They look like 200. What, 200? 200, yeah, 200 million. Like 200 million in revenue. Like 200 million. I don't know. Is that 200 billion? I don't know, man. See, I don't think I never seen a billion, so I don't know if it's billion. Let me see. They look like 8 or 9. Hold on. Seeing so many zeros, I squinted. Hold on. Okay, 200 million. It was 200 million. Just want to make sure, you know, I want to, I be looking, you know, the balance sheets, they be billions. Okay, that's millions. All right, so yeah, that's millions. So that's what they're expecting to increase that money by. That's a lot of money, but it seems like they got good prices. Some people, I don't really think it's the best price starting out. Like if I know you can get a better deal starting at a 2 year. I know they got 2 years that have very good prices. If they 4 years have these prices, their 2 years got to have pretty good prices. So about 58% of OU students graduate debt free. That's really good. Their state is pretty good at making sure you don't get student loans. 58%, that's more than half. That's really good. He said, so like if you are planning, you know, just some people out there who are older, if you are like, I'm trying to figure out how to, you know, like it's plenty of people out here who probably be like, I got my bachelor. I don't even know Oklahoma state laws, but some people might say, I don't have a college plan set aside. I'm trying to figure out an affordable way for my kid to go to school. Georgia's not helping me. I'm in Georgia, so Georgia's not helping me. Maybe you should consider going to Oklahoma. Oklahoma said, look, over 50% or about 50% of their students graduate debt free. So that increases your chances. That's why I be wanting people to understand, increase your chances of saving money. Remember, you need to talk to somebody in like at the admission side of the university or to your college. You need to ask them like, hey, I'm planning to move to the area. How long will it take before I become a resident? Don't just jump up and move because I'm talking about it. Go talk. You need to call them and ask them, like, they should know these things. Admissions, they should know these things. Just saying. So he said, and need-based financial aid has risen. Students who graduate with debt finish their degree owing about $32,000. 32,000 is not, listen, hear me out. 32,000 is not crazy. But remember, imagine if you started at a 2 year. Just imagine. That can slice that by a lot. If you started a 2 year, that can slice that 32 down by a good bit. I'm just saying it could. So hopefully they see, even if they have to borrow money, it's still a good value. But remember, if you are somebody, I always got to throw this in here as we keep going real quick. I think I'll jump to, honestly, it's a little jargon in here. That's good to highlight. As you're going to school, if you want to be in politics, right? You know, for my people, I gotta switch it up. Can't say the same major every time. If you're going to be in politics, some people might say politics. Well, they know politicians make a lot of money today. But if you're going to be a politician, it doesn't really matter what you get your degree in. A person I love to give an example of is like Governor Kemp. I think he went to school for agriculture, but Governor Kemp he's the governor of Georgia, but he went to school for agriculture. I'm not saying agriculture don't make a lot of money, because it does. I'm just saying realistically, don't pick a major. Pick a degree that you could fall back on. That's what I want to say. Pick a degree or get a skill. Like me working in higher education is a skill. Like colleges are all over the world. So I can go to any part of the world and work in a college if it came down to it. So pick a degree that you could fall back on. That's how I look at it. And then if you're really good, you can be like an engineer, computer science. Like if you got that in your arsenal, that's really good to go to school for, even though you're not passionate about it. That can get you capital. Because a lot of people, like these billionaires, like I know like Jeff Bezos, prime example, he wanted to do Amazon, of course, but he had a high lucrative job. He was going to lose money going to do Amazon, which is crazy to think, right? So a lot of people do start off in these educational backgrounds making like they get high lucrative roles first or get a stable job and pocket back more money with good budgeting. So Oklahoma State University, 6-year run of flat tuition and fees come to an end. So that's really good. That's why I can't really get on Oklahoma. They had a 6-year flat. Like they didn't increase the tuition for 6 years. The regions will consider OSU's ask for a 4.75% increase for undergraduate students, which will help, you know, as I say, when they do the increases, that does help faculty, that does help staff, that does help blah, 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 blah. But sometimes they be stingy with that money and they don't want to get that money back at all. So as we keep going, the legislature appropriated $1.11 billion to Oklahoma higher education institutions for the 2027 fiscal year. The appropriation represents how about to say 1.43 increase over the year before, but it includes no added funds for college operational costs. So as we keep going, this is interesting. I don't know what UCO. What is a UCO? University of Central Oklahoma President Todd Lamb asked to raise tuition by 4%, but to leave fees flat. Because we did say that though, the fees at this school, for example, Oklahoma State University, their fees is a good bit, like $2,000 for fees is crazy. Like one thing about starting at a 2-year, our fees don't be that high. You know, they're like very good prices on the fees. But the tuition is great, but the fees. So it really like tuition good, but fees, like that's why I can see them mentioning that, hey, we got to keep the fees flat. Like we raise tuition, keep the fees flat because the fees can backdoor you. Like if you're only budgeting for tuition, you're going to set yourself up like, hey, we need an extra $2 or $3 grand from you. Whoa, you didn't say that. But they did. They put it right under it. So as I jump here, did they mention? Okay, that's about the end of it. They did mention something about healthcare, but jump here. This is today. So remember in the beginning, I said they proposed. I think it's at the beginning. Thursday. All right. The Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education will decide Thursday whether to approve the requested increases, right? So, boom, right here. Dang, we almost at 30 minutes. Dang, time to be moving. So, June 25th, 2026, state regents continue to keep tuition affordable. This is their source, horse from their mouth once again. The Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education today set tuition and mandatory fee levels for Oklahoma's public colleges and universities. Tuition and mandatory fees for resident, I'm going to zoom that in just a little bit. For resident undergraduate students in 2026-2027 will not increase at 9 institutions across the state system of higher education. For in-state undergraduate students, tuition and mandatory fees For in-state undergraduate students, tuition and mandatory fees will increase an average of 2.2% statewide for the 2026-2027 academic year. That's pretty good. And then they said 9 institutions, right? Will not increase at 9 institutions out of 16. So that's pretty good. So what I would do is go to them schools, depending on what institution or university it is. I would go to one of the schools that didn't do the increase. If I'm really trying to save money in college, if I'm really trying to be strategic, this is how you build out a strategic map of saving money in college. You shouldn't wait until now, like it's June. You shouldn't be waiting until June, but I understand if you don't know where you want to go to school. You shouldn't be waiting until June to build out a strategic plan of how to save money in college. You want to have, as I like to tell my bro, you want to have a contingency plan in place too. Hold on. I don't. Is the chart? What's this? Hold on. What is this? Is this to the? I don't know, but I'm going to use this. The charger in the bag, y'all. Computer dying. Yep, that's it. I feel like the Madagascar. I like cartoon movies a little bit, and then y'all ever seen the Madagascar? The Madagascar. What is it? The Madagascar movie with the octopus, and then it was like, nope. Dave. They was like, Dave, your sound, we can't hear you, Dave. We can't hear you. You can't hear me? Can't hear me? That's how I feel right now as I'm troubleshooting this. There you go. Okay. And let me see. Yes, hit my good knees because my knees are so in good condition, but they're not. All right. Boom. Now we are good. Don't have to worry about the computer dying on this. So that's what you have to do. You have to be strategic about what school you want to pick. So they're going to approve it. But they didn't raise it by that much. That's very good. And so it's not really much. All they doing is repeating what we just read. As you can see, 4.92 per credit hour. Remember, you can come on the website and come read this more in detail if you want to. We have another segment to go to though. So as we do that, Affinity housing. Do y'all know what Affinity housing is? I never heard of Affinity housing. I went through grad school in higher education and I didn't even know about Affinity housing. And I took some DEI courses and everything, and I never heard about Affinity housing. But the thing about Affinity housing is interesting. So I got the definition up. Do I got the definition up? I got the definition up right now. So I'm going to close that out. Shout out to Oklahoma for good prices. I still do think off general review, I think you still should. Definitely, if you are in the state of Oklahoma, I still do think you should start at 2-year. If you know about some 2 years you want me to review or tell somebody, you know somebody in Oklahoma, please tell them to email us. We have our email in the YouTube description. Like and subscribe. That helps the channel so much. We got to get these views. The algorithm is like, bro, you're talking about education on YouTube, boring. We don't want to watch that. So please like and subscribe. Tell somebody if they want to save money in college and get ahead in life in this crazy economy. Come rock with us because we're going to help you save money and get a debt-free degree. So Affinity housing, like I said before, I didn't really know what it was. So Affinity housing sounds like something that was through DEI, but it's not a small thing. It's bigger than well, I guess I thought it was. It's bigger than what I thought. That's the best way to put it. So I'm gonna close this out. Y'all probably can see that too. Let me close all this out. So Affinity housing refers to specialized residential communities predominantly found on college campuses where students, this is AI overview as y'all can see, where students live together based on shared identities, cultural backgrounds, or specific academic and personal interests. It groups like-minded peers to foster supportive environments and tailor programming. Now, I was recently watching a movie. Y'all remember the movie? Y'all know the movie ATL, right? And then T.I., I'm just saying, or Rashad, T.I. little brother, he played in this movie. I forgot the name. I really don't know the name of the movie, but this was back then. This was around the 9/11 time. That's what the movie. That's what they were basing the timeline off of. But in that timeline, I think it's called it's about him being Muslim, and they roomed the students together. They roomed them together because they were both Muslim. He said, "My dad did the application, but he wasn't trying to show his Muslim identity." So I believe this is what this is. That's what I'm getting at. And then y'all help me because I didn't stay in dorms. FYI. That's the one thing I did. I stayed off campus. I got roommates because I wasn't finna share no bathroom and I wasn't finna share no wash machine or that. Even though I ended up sharing it, I still had my own room and I still had my own bathroom. That was me. Rent wasn't crazy. So I believe that's what they're getting at. And then they're saying affinity housing allows minority groups with shared identities to live in one community, exempting themselves from certain aspects of the Fair Housing Act. Now, what's the Fair Housing Act? That's what I want to know. So, Chronicle Higher Education, right? So then they got into it right here. It started getting deep. It started getting into the civil rights area and things of that nature, and talking about how students today are living in a post-civil rights movement. We don't go through what Dr. King and them, Malcolm X and them went through back in the day, right? Not trying to be a history lecturer, but literally that's what they're kind of hinting at in this document. But they were getting onto schools. the school that they did mention, I believe they mentioned California, UCLA. I believe they mentioned UCLA right here, but it was based on 2016. They said the Dear Colleague letter, which also sent to some higher education associations, pointed specifically to California State University at Los Angeles. That's you. Is that UCLA? California State? I'm just looking it up. What am I doing? Oh, that's Cal State. I'm about to say, I don't see no UCLA in there. Look at that. I like showing y'all this. This is why we go to college, you know? You get to see all this stuff. I've never been to California. Hopefully y'all can tell me how it is.
Hello, my name is Bernice Johnson-Eanes. I'm the president of California State University, Los Angeles. I'm reaching out to you today with a message to encourage your continuing education and your attendance to...
All right, appreciate that. I just like to show this because nobody else can do this on the live screen, so I want to show y'all. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Look at them being the I word. You know, it's bad to say the I word these days. So, yeah, so they were hinting at specifically to California State University at Los Angeles, arguing it provided Black-only housing. Facing similar allegations when it opened that housing in 2016, the university emphasized the option was open to all students and that resident halls were not segregated. So, you know, this is not my main area of focus. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not. But one thing I can tell you about this is, hey, stay off campus. Get you some roommates in today's economy. Even back then, I was on that time, but today's economy, get you some roommates. You don't have to know them. Get you a job, go to school part-time, full-time. If you want to go more in detail on that, like and subscribe. And then just ask us scenarios. Like, guys, I want you to get comfortable and I want you guys to get comfortable in asking questions that you probably would ask your academic advisor or a college, but a college probably can't give you a very transparent answer, you know? And I do have the higher education experience. And then if I don't know the answer, guess what? I use the experience to be like, maybe you should ask somebody at this institution, but go to this department. I know it sounds very like, why do I need to come to you for that? But in the untrained mind who never been to college, you don't know where to go. You don't understand. Normally, they don't understand the process. My students be like, hey, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to talk to. And then normally, if you can't figure out after so much time, because some people are not going to give you the resources. They're going to be like, figure it out. So, you know, let's make it more convenient for you at no cost right now. At no cost right now. Make it easier for you to just be like, oh, yeah, the guy I'm speaking on behalf said I need to go talk to the business office. He said I need to go talk to admissions. He said before I even consider going to the school, I need to see if I can even be considered in state, even though it's in another state. You know, like, simplify that. So by the time you get ready to go into your fall semester of school, yeah, you might be first generation, but now you got a big advantage because you've been watching this guy in a hotel room on the military base talk about college randomly at 8:54 p.m. with an afro and clothes in the back, as you see on the chair, you know? So, yeah. And then just to get a little more about it, it says race or affinity-based housing has become increasingly prevalent, first emerging out of the cultural foment. Definitely finna Google that word right quick, guys. Foment. Foment is a verb that means to instigate, stir up, or encourage, not instigate. Oh yeah, foment that. He fomented. I can imagine somebody being like, what are you saying? He instigated. Oh. So the cultural foment of the 1960s and 1970s and proliferating in recent years as students of color at predominantly white institutions have asked for more campus support, which goes into what I did learn in school, campus climate. So campus climate is where you put resources on the campus for students, because remember, in short in short, concise way, without me going on a tangent. Remember that students, because it's gonna lead into our next topic we're gonna go into about Black and Hispanics make gains. Not gangs, but make gangs. They making some gangs out here, like in school. GAINS. So like schools get extra money when they meet a certain quota, like a predominantly white institution, right? They get extra money. Actually, I can show you a better clip. I can show you a clip. It's a funny clip. It's Tyler Perry. It's a great beginning scene, actually. We're gonna come back to this real quick. This is actually a perfect. See, that's when I think of that, that makes me think like, yeah, that's a great time to show a clip. I think it should be easy to find. I think real quick. Like and subscribe. Please share this with people. If you don't share with people, we don't stay around. Psych, we're gonna stay around forever. Tyler Perry. How do you spell Tyler? Oh, road trip beginning. I think. Let me see. Is this the trailer? I don't want the trailer. I want. Let me say beginning scene. Let me see. Clickbait. You almost got me. Y'all make this so difficult. Tyler Perry road trip. Let me see. Is it college road trip? Yep, I'm gonna have to go find that then. No. They're doing a really good job, but that should be a clip, I think. Nah, I think it really should. It was like the first beginning scene. And then if I don't find a lot of people talking about it. Oh, is that it? Nope, that's not it. All right. So I wasn't able to get it. I'm sorry for wasting your time. I thought they was gonna show it. Oh, wait. Not somebody. Are y'all doing what I think y'all doing? Nah, they showing the trailer. All right. Thought they were showing it. All right. So pretty much in the beginning of the movie, Tyler Perry's son didn't know the difference between the PWIs, HBCUs, and things of that nature. And so what I was going to show is that like you have these different schools, but every school has a quota to meet with students. Not they don't have to meet the quota, but if they meet this quota of having Blacks, Hispanics, Native American, Indigenous, Pacific Islander, Asian, if they meet that, they get extra money. And what that does with the campus climate, it's supposed to help students like get resources that, cultural to them, or like school events that's cultural, items, just anything that they need for that demographic of students. And yeah, and that's the concise short way. I know I made that short, but literally that's it. It goes more deeper, but come on, guys. You know what we got to do. Got to save you time. And we almost at an hour already. I didn't even think we was going to go that far. So the next one is this. So if you know me, you know I picked this one a lot. This is the National Student. Can I see that? It looks very tiny. Shout out to them for, yeah. So this is the National Student Clearinghouse Research Center. So I'll be honest with you, some of these things that I don't understand myself sometimes. So I have to read it in current time with you because I have to understand what's the terminology of the article. And so national, if you don't know, National Student Clearinghouse Research Center, at least for higher education, I can speak on, is a lot of data, credible data that these people, mash this data together. They put the stats together about like, when people say nobody's going to college no more. I don't know why people go to college. College is not getting more students. Then I will come here to show you that look, people are still going to college. Students are in fact staying in college. People are staying in college more today than they did back then. And so then we get down to all the fancy data down here, and then it shows you a trend. Like look from like we're at all-time highs in 2024, we reached all-time highs. Then you might say, where's 2025? Well, they have to put the data together for 2025. We just finished 2025. So they're putting the official data together as we speak. And then what about 2026? We're still in 2026. So we can't really put that data together yet until what? 2027. So this is some of my grad school nerdy stuff. So the Persistent and Retention Report series examines early college enrollment outcomes for beginning post-secondary students, tracking both first spring and second fall persistent and retention rates. And you probably might be like, what's both first spring and second fall? Don't get me wrong. It sounds like like if you started school in the first spring, both first spring, and I guess if you started, not I guess, but if you started in the second fall, so from the time you started in the first fall, 2024 to fall 2025, literally like that. I know they could have did better wording, but that's the way they wanted to go with it. And so I'm going to jump straight to Black and Hispanics because I did put that in the headline before I go to the overall view, because it does consider all students, but they did mention Black and Hispanic students. And so they said right here that Black and Hispanic students in the fall of 2024 cohort posted notable one-year gains in second fall persistent and retention rates, showing the highest second fall persistent and retention rates over the last decade for each group. Hispanic persistent was 74.5, with of course a percentage 1.5 percentage point, but Hispanic retention was 67%, pretty much rounded. And then they go to Black persistence. Black persistence was 70%, 1.4 percentage points. And some that I always highlight, I was talking to somebody recently who was I think he was a high school, middle school teacher. And I like to inform people that, of course, I'm very hard on Black culture. I'm very hard on this because I always tell them like we're falling behind. And so we're not leading like education no more. As you can see, the Hispanics, they have a lot of barriers. They don't make a lot of complaints. But as you can see, Hispanics are making strides, and they have 74.5% of persistence. We have 70%. That's what they're saying. Now we are hitting noble numbers. We are hitting big gains. Woo! But it's a sign that, look, people are still being persistent. Black people are still being persistent with their, going to school. Blacks are being they are retaining at almost a 60% clip. So people are staying in school. Black people are staying in school. Hispanics are staying in school, and there's other demographics also in here that we can look at. They're also staying in school, like right here. Here's y'all seen that, right? Okay. And so there's other demographics in here as well as across the board. Let's not get it confused. But as you see, if you want to compare, say, oh, what about Asian? Asian, hey, they at 90%. White, 82%. Who's this? Multiracial. They are at, I don't think they put a percentage on them. They are at a persistent rate of 79%. So what am I saying? I'm saying that, look, Asian, if you say education, so like now I'm about to take it to another level of how I feel. So now if you say like, look, shout out to Black and Hispanics because we hit some all-time highs. But what I want to say is, if you think about people saying that college doesn't matter, we don't need to go to college, as you can see, Asians are being 90% persistent. They have a 90% persistent clip of staying in college and graduating. 90% persistent rate. They're shooting a 90% clip. In sports, that's very good. In higher education, that's very good. 90% is 90%. Does it look like college is losing its value? Does it look like college is losing its value? Asians are still going to school. Whites are still going to school at an 82% clip, 82.1. You know, Hispanics are shooting where's the Hispanics? They're shooting a 73% persistent clip. This is the cohort year of 2023. That's 2024. That's 2024. They haven't put the 2024, yeah, international 2024 Hispanic. Yeah, 74 point. Oh, they got right here. I don't know why I did that. 74.5. Remember, we just said that. Hispanic, 74.5, making gains. And then they go into second fall. It's all second fall, right? Yeah, it's all second fall. Who's this right here? That's Native Hawaiian, Native American, Hawaiians, Pacific Islander. They're shooting at a 67%. So everybody is still going to college, guys. Now, I get everybody don't want to go to college, but everybody is going to college. Y'all thought I was going to go through this whole thing? Come on now. I'm not going to do y'all like that. I'm not going to do y'all like that. But it does show that everybody's been persistent. Numbers are up. Numbers are looking good. Schools are being intentional about students going to school. Not every student is we got another article, but I don't think it's really needed. They're saying that the professionals are saying that schools are being very intentional about helping us go to school, helping everybody, but helping us. And so when they're doing that, guys, that's helping. What I was gonna say, that's helping being intentional. They don't for example, they said students who want to be part-time because they're like, I gotta work. I can't be full-time at work, full-time at school. And speaking from my experience, I be having students who are like, I have to work. I have to work. I don't want to be full-time at school. I want to work full-time and now go to school part-time. These are like 18, 19-year-olds going to school the traditional way. And I get it. Why sit on the sideline and let the economy torture you essentially while you can kind of balance it out and get that real world experience? And so that's why I tell students, part of the being persistent, like this is why I really emphasize, like, please go to a 2-year college or start at a 2-year college, get your associate's degree, because that can definitely, if you go in the right career field, that can get you into your career field or close to your career field early. So then you can be learning your career field. That's why associate's degree is very important. It's like, remember, it's a step ladder approach. If you want to take the elevator, the convenience, we're going to charge you more money for the convenience, So I just wanted to talk about that real quick. And the numbers are going up. The numbers are not going down. The numbers are going up. And so with the numbers going up, more people have been persistent in school. More people are going to school. More people are being retained in school, saving money in school. So that's going to be it. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Like and subscribe. Please share if you felt it was helpful. Show somebody the best part that you felt was very informal or very good to you. And we will be back. Today is Thursday. We will be back Tuesday. Like and subscribe again. Once again, just like and subscribe. We really appreciate you stopping by. Remember, watch it in 10 to 15-minute increments. If that's too much, 5 to 10 increments. Don't watch this all at one time. That would drive me crazy watching this all at one time. Do not watch this all at one time. Watch it like 5 to 10 minutes, 10 to 15, like 5 minutes at a time, then 10 minutes at a time. This will help you save a lot of money in college. Remember, 2-year to 4-year under the articulation agreement, pathway agreement, and then bridge to your university. Remember, find out who your university has an articulation agreement with. That's a 2-year. Then you should go to that 2-year, Or if you say this is the university I want to go to, talk to that university. Hey, what articulation agreement, pathway agreements you have with these 2-year colleges or 2-year colleges? And they should know that. It's not a secret no more. They should know. They emphasizing it now. So do that. That's gonna save you a lot of money. That's gonna help you catch up. You wanna be a millionaire? It's gonna help you get there. Saving money. Keep your overhead low. That's like basic accounting. That's basic business. Keep your overhead low. Minimize your expenses. Same thing in college. Minimize your expenses. Don't stay on campus. Don't get housing. Don't get a meal plan. And so these universities know this. They have this for you. So like and subscribe. See you again this week. Peace, love, chicken grease. And stay safe over the weekend. Always be with somebody. Don't go nowhere alone. And stay safe. Drive safe.